Well, welcome to Krimson's Corner. Hey everyone, my name is Krimson and I want to welcome you to the return of Krimson's Corner. It all starts right here, day one, Journey of a Poor Man. Now, some of you may be wondering, wait a minute, I thought this was day one. What do you mean the return of Krimson's Corner? Well, that's a long story. You can consider this what the movie industry calls a soft reboot. Not a complete restart, but a fresh new beginning of what Krimson's Corner is and will be in the future. Before we begin, I guess I should give you a brief history lesson of Krimson's Corner. It all started in 2013 when I officially created the Krimson Kreations YouTube channel. It was meant to be a channel where I could express my creative talents through skits, reviews, keeping it real, and of course, Krimson's Corner. Krimson's Corner was meant to be the flagship of Krimson Kreations where I could document my life and journey of becoming the person I was meant to be. I could hold myself accountable for every goal I made and celebrate with the world when I accomplished one. Along the way, I hoped that my experiences could help someone out there avoid any mistakes I made on this journey in life. With all that in mind, I uploaded my first vlog entry about me. And my first skit, Running Man, on July 1st, 2013. I was very proud of this accomplishment. For a newbie, I thought, I did very well. Well, from that point on, I started producing more vlog entries, some skits, a few Keeping It Real episodes and reviews, and other random videos. Then, we had our first shakeup at the Krimson household. I won't go into detail about what happened, but between finances and the turmoil the situation caused, I had to take some time off. A few months later though, I was back at it. I felt inspired to continue my journey here on YouTube, and I continued making more vlog entries, reviews, and a few more skits. Had some really great moments, even catching a UFO on camera. Then, the realities of YouTube started catching up on me. Work kept me busy, putting me further and further behind on the release of my videos, and I also started feeling burnt out. Top that with moments of depression and more turmoil, and you have the recipe for a disaster. My last official Krimson's Corner video came out in 2014, but I didn't stop shooting. I always thought I would release more videos. I would just give myself more time to edit them so it wouldn't be as stressful. Well, days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, months turned to years. Every time something would stop me. Financial hardships, even more turmoil, depression galore, and the loss of people I loved. In 2015, it was Gail, the love of my life. In 2018, it was my mother. Don't even get me started on that. And in 2019, it was my brother Steve. Suffice it to say, time flew. Before I knew it, it was 2023 with an occasional new video here and there and plenty of footage from the past 10 years that never got uploaded. My last official video shot was shortly after the new year in 2023. Despite that, I always wanted to return to Krimson's Corner, but I didn't know how I wanted to approach it. After taking a year and a half to myself, I finally decided it was time. I also decided it was time to reboot Krimson's Corner, to give it a fresh new meaning and look. That brings us to late 2024. I started producing new videos to advertise a new Krimson's Corner. It gave me a chance to produce new skits and revisit some old ground, but now the time has come. It's 2025 and it is time to return to Krimson's Corner. And that day is right here. I'm so glad I got to use some of that footage for the commercials that I presented to you so far. It's like a stroll down memory lane. Anyways, moving right along, now that you've had your history lesson of Krimson's Corner, you must now ask the most important question of all. What question is that? Simple. Who is Krimson? Yeah, I know, that's a complicated question, and I have tried to answer it before in a previous video. For a matter of fact, Open the Cards is that video, the one I had mentioned earlier, the very first video about me. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I'll be here when you come back. But if not, I will try to attempt to answer this question again. So, who am I? First and foremost, I'm a creator. Now in the past I would have said I was a writer, but in recent years, my creative taste has went beyond writing. Now don't get me wrong, I still love writing. For a matter of fact, I'm working on my first novel for the Wright Chronicles series, A Nightmare in Face Paint. I really want to get this series published. It is still my ultimate dream. I am currently working on 2 other projects outside of writing. The first concerns a board game called HeroQuest. If you don't know what that is, it is a fantasy dungeon crawl board game where players work together to complete quests, find treasure, and defeat evil. Currently, there is 12 quest packs for sale for this game. Each contains numerous quests and an overarching storyline. My goal is to combine them into one huge campaign storyline as well as add my own custom quest packs to add to the story. They will include custom cards, miniatures, and set pieces, either designed by me or by another creator. So far, I'm impressed by my work. My ultimate goal is to get 4 players to join me on this huge campaign. Until then, I will play using the HeroQuest app. Let the adventure begin! In the future, I will present gameplay sessions on this channel. The second project is, well, this YouTube channel. Right now I want to focus on Krimson's Korner, but later I want to add different content to the channel. Like I said earlier, I want to create some HeroQuest gameplay videos. I also want to do a gameplay series for video games. I plan on bringing back my Keeping It Real series, in which I give my take on numerous subjects in the world. I also want to bring back my reviews on movies, shows, games, and collectibles. I never thought I gave that series a fair chance last time. The last thing I want to start is a series about the paranormal. I've always been interested in the subject, and I think it would be fascinating to explore. I'm not sure on how I would handle the series, but I would love to do some paranormal investigations. I don't know. We'll see. I am working on a third project, but I want to keep it secret for now. It's too far off in the future at this moment. My sense of humor is a big part of who I am. Anyone who really knows me will tell you that it is an essential part of my personality. It's how I deal with what is sometimes a dark world. Now, some might say my humor is a little bit childish or juvenile, but...
Doctor, you're being childish.
Well, of course I am. There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
It's who I am and who I always will be, for better or worse. Sometimes I may act silly, sometimes I may act childish, sometimes I may act completely off the wall bonkers. Either way, it's me, a Krimson. My humor definitely bleeds into my creative work, from my writing to here on YouTube. It's why I started doing skits. I definitely want to explore this side of me going forward, especially as I make more and more skits. It should be a fun time. Speaking of fun, I'm a major fan of sci-fi and fantasy. I just love the stories of Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Dungeons and Dragons, just to name a few. It is works like these that allows you to explore strange new worlds and delve deep into what exactly it means to be human without losing the adventure and fun of the story. It allows us the chance to ask the questions we are normally too scared or had no idea to ask. It gives us a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world we live in. These stories are also what inspired me to become a writer. Without characters like the Doctor, Luke Skywalker, or Captain Kirk, there would be no Wright Chronicles. These stories unlocked my creative side and allowed me to become the person I was meant to be. A creator of worlds with amazing adventure and incredible intrigue. There's no telling where it will take me, and I am ready for the journey. Are you? Not only am I a fan, but I'm also a huge collector of books, TV shows, and movies from those genres. Any chance I get, I try to add to my collection to enjoy over and over again. I also collect Transformers, Marvel figures, HeroQuest, swords, wolf collectibles, games, and whatnot. There's a certain joy I get every time I add another piece to my collection. It also brings out the kid in me again. There's nothing like opening up a new piece like it was Christmas back in the 80s. In recent years though, due to finances, I haven't been able to add as many things as I would like. I'm hoping that in 2025 I will be able to fix that by catching up on my finances. Only time will tell. I love spending time in nature. There's nothing like being out in the wilderness with nothing around but you and nature. It truly is peaceful and helps me relax, especially after a rough week at work. In the past year, I haven't had much of a chance to get out and do any hiking. This year, I plan to change that. I really believe that it is the key to finding balance in my work-life relationship and will help me find some peace in what sometimes can be a very demanding world. I really look forward to getting back on the trail. I hope you will join me on my next trek out there into the deep unknown. Since the very first Atari 2600, I have been a gamer. I've been through the Atari, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Game Boy, the PlayStation 2, the PSP, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 4, and now the PlayStation 5. I find it very therapeutic to immerse myself in these game worlds for a few hours to get away from the outside world, at least temporarily. Like hiking, it helps me relax and lets me forget about what is stressing me for a little while. It also inspires the creative side of my mind by giving me new story ideas and inventive new ways to write myself out of the occasional plot hole. Overall, I think it's a positive experience. I know some have believed for years that video games have destroyed the youth and has led some to violence, but in my experience, it has been the exact opposite. I've always seen video games help people develop unique problem-solving skills and also help people relieve stress in a safe way. I would like to think of myself as a seeker of knowledge. I'm always trying to expand my knowledge by reading books and articles, watching videos and documentaries, and picking up all kinds of random facts on a variety of different subjects. I also observe the world around me. Sometimes the best way to learn what is going on is just to sit back and observe. There is nothing like getting out and experiencing what is going on. It is a great way to expand your mind. I think it is important to expand our minds to help us better understand what is going on around us. It also helps us keep an open mind and stops us from falling into the pitfalls of misinformation and the bubbles of alternative facts. Spoilers, there is no such thing as alternative facts. Facts are facts, period, full stop. Knowledge is important to help us grow as a species and keep us moving forward. That is progress. Falling back and ignoring the lessons we have learned only holds us back from being the people we were meant to be and dooms us to repeat the mistakes and sins of our past. Me, I prefer the path forward to becoming the better me. Which path do you choose? For a while now, I have lived by the motto of doing what I have to do. In recent years, that meant working hard to get my finances back in order. In order to do that, I've had to put an insane amount of hours into work to make that happen. As a result, I've had little time to do anything else. And to make matters worse, all this work hasn't made much of a dent in regaining control of my finances thanks to several setbacks. Now, I've got nothing against working hard. Over the years, I have definitely developed a strong work ethic, and I still believe you should work hard to get what you want out of life. But I've also seen the downsides of working too hard. From burnout, to depression, to just feeling stuck, just like you're spinning wheels going nowhere. Over time, I've felt all of this, and have become somewhat of a workaholic. I can never seem to relax, not even when I sleep. I feel like I've always got to be doing something, and when I don't feel like I've been productive enough, I start feeling, well, irritable, depressed, and just full of anxiety. This in turn has affected my mental state, my health, and just my overall quality of life. This has made me realize that I need to find balance in my work-life relationship. While I still need to fix my finances and get myself to a better place financially, I also need to find time for me so I can enjoy life and not put myself under constant pressure. Life is just too short to waste it away in stress. You have to find what truly makes you happy in life and cut out all the negative things that hold you back. This will definitely be a tough transition for me because, like I said, I pride myself on working hard to achieve my goals. and my finances have been holding me back in a lot of ways. But my mental, physical, and spiritual health require me to learn how to work smarter, not harder, to achieve the same results, if not better. At the same time, take better care of myself so I can improve my quality of life. This has become a priority for me this year, and I hope to find the right path that leads me to achieving this goal and to a better life. A better me. I guess only time will tell, and we'll see what happens here on Krimson's Korner. Wish me luck. Over the years, I have felt the need to do something big to make the world better. It's one of the reasons I started the project Casey's Coming Around Again. Obviously, the main reason I started it was for my girlfriend who passed away in 2015 from stage 4 colon cancer. I wanted to do a bike ride across America to raise money for cancer research and for an organization called Cancer Cure that helps people who can't afford treatment. I wanted to do my part to help make sure that no one else would have to suffer like Gail and so many others have to cancer. While I'm still working to make that project a reality, I have to admit, I want to do even more. After seeing this country and the rest of the world fall apart because of a small group of twisted individuals, I felt the need to step into other arenas such as, well, unfortunately, politics. Now, understand, I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I am what you call a true independent. I think one of the biggest mistakes we've made in recent years is follow politicians and parties blind without question. We have lost the ability to think critically, making us lemmings who willingly jump off a cliff when our leaders ask us to. It is robbing us of what once made us unique and a force to be reckoned with, our free will. It has made us hateful, bitter, selfish, and closed-minded. Me, I like to think of myself as a free thinker, which puts me at odds with the current administration. This, in turn, may lose me a percentage of anyone who stumbles upon my channel. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I refuse to follow any one person blindly, especially one who is so willing to tread on anyone who doesn't show absolute allegiance to him, who is willing to hurt anyone who doesn't bend the knee. I feel that our government is there to protect our most vulnerable, not crush them with absolute prejudice. After all, we as a country are only as strong as our weakest citizen, and when we seem so determined to push them down into poverty and despair, we are weakening our country and destroying what was once the American dream. Everyone deserves a chance at the American dream, not just the top 1% who have stolen and plundered from the American people. Anyways, I'm not sure what part I will play, but I know I can no longer sit on the sidelines. It is time for me to do my part. Now, what that will be, well, I guess we'll just have to see. On a more lighter note, one thing I've been able to do in recent years is do a little bit of traveling. While it's not been a lot, I've enjoyed every minute of it. It has been exciting to see all the new sights and experiencing all new things I've never done before. I've realized just how much I've been missing out on. And you know what? I'm hungry for more. I would especially love to travel through the Western States, an area I've never been through. Maybe I could even return to England where my mother was born to truly explore my roots. The thought of this truly scratches the urges to explore that I've had lately. Ultimately, I would love to build up a van or something similar to travel the country in. Not for full-time living like those who do van life, but for the freedom to travel the country and see amazing sights and experience everything I can, all while living inside my temporary little home. I think it would be the adventure of a lifetime. I almost had the chance once when I had my Nissan Rogue. I was going to turn it into a sleeper that I could travel the country in, but unfortunately, disaster took that vehicle away. Now I hope I can have another chance to live one of my dreams. Only time will tell. One of the parts of me that I have to fix is how sometimes I feel broken inside. Just like so many others, my life has really been put through the ringer, and it has taken its toll on me both mentally and emotionally. I have been through so much pain, turmoil, betrayal, tragedy, and outright heartbreak that some days it seems like it has shredded my sanity and my inner peace. As a result, I have been through my fair share of depression and thoughts of suicide. There are some days I struggle to even keep functioning, and I have to fight to keep myself from shutting down. Some days it's easy. Some days it feels like it's so impossible that I want to give everything up. But I get up every morning and somehow gather the strength to keep on going, to keep on fighting. Now, I don't say any of this to act like I'm the only one who's gone through this or to get anyone to feel sorry for me. I also am not trying to brag or say it is easy to overcome what can seem like impossible, impassable obstacles that hold us back from truly living. The truth is that too many people in this world deal with these same demons, especially with the harsh world we live in. What's worse is that we as a society tend to ignore or make light of what people have gone through. We tell them to buck up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's life. Get over it. It's never that simple, and it's not helpful making people think it is. We just have to realize that some days people have really crappy days, and some days it takes every bit of strength we have from falling over the edge from the constant pressures of what can sometimes be a harsh life. And the best thing we can do if you know someone who's going through something like this is one of two things. One is to be there for them, not to push them into some kind of help, not to give them advice on what to do, just be there for them, to let them know they are not alone and you are there if they need you. Two is to give them the space they need to work things out. Sometimes that's all it takes. As for me, this is me acknowledging that part of me that is broken. I realize there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and for the years to come, maybe even the rest of my life, I'll be putting in the effort to make myself whole again. I just hope you will be patient with me on those days that I truly fall, which I know will come, and the days that I will be well below 100%. There may even be times where I can't bring myself to pick up a camera and record my day. I will try to limit those days, but I can't make any promises. Let's just say that I'm a work in progress, and hopefully this will lead to another step of me becoming the better version of myself, which ultimately I'm striving for. Wish me luck. Last, but certainly not least, I'm a daddy. Now, obviously not in the traditional sense since I don't have any biological children, and it seems like it's, well, not in the cards for me in the near future. But I do consider Charlie, my cat, the child I never had. I love this cat dearly, and over the years he has helped me get through some of the hardest moments in my life. Like I've told many, he is what kept me sane when everything around me seemed like it was falling apart. Now, some days he can drive me crazy. He can really test my nerves by doing what all cats can do sometimes, like scratching up areas he's not supposed to, peeing in places that are not his litter box, and jumping up on places he's not supposed to be on. I still love this bowl of fur though, and he's very loving in return. Whenever I'm home, he's always craving my attention, cuddles up close by wherever I sit, and loves following me everywhere I go. If he didn't hate cars, I'd take him with me when I went on deliveries. I'd do anything for him. Even when I thought I was going to lose everything, I always thought about his welfare first. He's my baby boy. I truly don't know what I'll do when his time on Earth is up. Just like all my cats I had in the past, I'll lose a piece of me when that time comes. He'll forever be a part of me. Anyways, that's me in a nutshell. Hold on, wait, no. That's me in a nutshell.
Help! I'm in a nutshell! How did I get into this nutshell? Look at the size of this bloody great big nutshell. What sort of shell has a nut like this? I mean, it's just crazy.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, now that we have answered the most important question of all, it's time to ask the next question. What is Krimson's Korner? I've already touched on this earlier, but I want to give you a clearer picture of what Krimson's Korner is. Simply put, Krimson's Korner is a vlog of my life. It's not a daily vlog or a weekly vlog like I've tried in the past, but it's a story of my journey through the trials and tribulations that life tends to throw at me on the path to becoming the best version of myself that I can be. That's the ultimate goal of what I'm trying to accomplish here. I want to make a better life for myself, to become the best me possible. Along the way, I want to have as much fun as possible and experience everything that I can that life has to offer. Simply put, I want to live. I want to treat each day like a new adventure with high risk and huge reward. I want to squeeze every bit of joy I can out of every day. I no longer want to bog myself down with self-doubt, depression, and feeling like my life is spinning out of control. I've been there, and I refuse to go back. Nothing can be your own worst enemy like your own thoughts. Nothing can waste your life away like getting lost in your own negativity. It's no way to live. I spent way too long laying right here, allowing myself to drown away in negativity and self-pity. Thinking about how much time I wasted here pisses me off and makes me wish I did something about it sooner. The things I could have accomplished instead of wasting away on this couch tears at my very soul. But there's nothing that I can do about that now. Unlike a character in my book, I don't have a time machine to go back and change things. Instead, I have to use how I feel right now as fuel to motivate me to change, to learn from my past mistakes, and to make better choices in the future. That is another reason why I do these videos, to learn and to grow, to hold myself to the mark. We have to learn from our mistakes and grow into a better person. We have to keep ourselves focused on our goals and not lose sight of what we are trying to accomplish. It helps us to keep moving forward and not let ourselves get bogged down or distracted. This is what each video does for me, to review what worked and to learn from mistakes I've made. It reminds me also of what I am trying to accomplish and why I'm on the road that I am. Hopefully, along the way, my journey helps someone out there, whether it's what not to do from my failures or what to do from my successes. I hope that some can find inspiration in what I do to help them take the first steps they need on whatever they are trying to accomplish. Ultimately, I want everyone to succeed at what makes them happy and become the best person they are meant to be. I also hope that I can be entertaining in each video. After all, it's part of the job of my chosen profession as a writer. Nothing thrills me more as a creator than to know someone out there has enjoyed my work. If I put a smile on somebody's face, made someone's day, even if it's just temporary, or make someone laugh through my crazy shenanigans, I've done my job, so let's put a smile on that face. The format that these vlog entries will come in are different from what I've done in the past. Like I said, I used to do a weekly vlog, and then I tried a daily vlog. I've learned that these formats no longer work for me, so I'm leaning into my strengths as a storyteller and just telling the story of my life. That means some videos will cover a week or longer. Some will cover a few days. Some will be just one day of my life, while some may even cover events happening in real time, meaning no cuts or breaks of any kind, just raw footage. The main goal of that is to do whatever serves the story that I'm telling. We'll see how that works out. Maybe we'll change that if something else might work better in the future. We'll see. Anyways, I hope this gives you a clear picture of what you're getting yourself into if you join me on this journey. There's going to be ups and downs, successes and failures, good times and probably some bad moments. All in all, I hope this will be the journey and adventure of a lifetime, and I hope you will join me for the ride. The next question is, what is Krimson Kreations? Obviously, it's the name of my YouTube channel, but it's much bigger than that. It's my brand. I'd call it my company, but I'm not ready to take that step yet. Everything I do creatively will be under this umbrella, from my writing to my custom content for HeroQuest to the videos I produce here on YouTube. That's why you'll see this on everything I produce, to let you know this is part of the Krimson Kreations brand. In the future, I do want to expand into other areas of creativity and make Krimson Kreations into my official company. But like I said before, I'm not ready to take that step yet. It is one of my biggest dreams though, and probably will be the biggest project I will ever take on. Now that we've answered the three biggest questions, what's next? Where do we go from here? First, I want to explain something you'll be seeing in my videos. On occasion, something like this will pop up. These are my achievements. Now, some of you gamers might recognize it. When you achieve certain goals in games, you receive these to acknowledge your, well, achievements. I thought this might be a tool I could use to keep me motivated, to push me into doing what I can to accomplish the goals I have set out for myself. It seems to work for gamers. Who in the gaming world hasn't spent an entire day just to unlock one achievement? We'll see how it works for me in life. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. The achievements will come in 4 levels: blue, silver, gold, and red. Blue will be for the small daily goals. the things that I set out to accomplish for that day. Silver will be for the steps I have accomplished towards major goals. Gold will be for when I have completed the major goals. These will be the big accomplishments of my life. Red is the ultimate achievement. This is reserved for the major milestones, my true dreams. While these may show up rarely, it will be truly a time to celebrate, and I'll reward myself accordingly. If you want to know more about the achievements I've accomplished in a video, just look in the description below. It will give you a brief description of what I've accomplished. So, what am I trying to accomplish, at least in the near future? First off, I want to organize my home. This is the project I started back in the beginning of Krimson's Korner. While it was a slow process, I really felt like I was making a lot of progress. Unfortunately, like so many other projects I was working on at the time, events in my life distracted me and made me lose focus of what I was trying to accomplish. As a result, I lost a lot of progress that I made, and it felt like I was back at square one. This, in turn, has caused me a lot of stress. You see, I have a strong need to be organized. I guess you could call it OCD, but when I'm organized, I feel confident and motivated to do what I need to do. When everything is in disarray though, I feel like everything is spinning out of control. In turn, it makes me feel despair, like my world's falling apart around me. You would think that as much as I love to keep things in order, it would be easy for me to do. Unfortunately, I find myself letting things slide because of distractions and how I tend to procrastinate when it's time to put things away where they should be. This is something I have to work on this year. I need to do a better job of keeping on top of things so things won't get so out of hand around the apartment. It will do wonders for me both mentally and emotionally. While it won't be my top priority in the beginning due to my finances, I will try to find the time here and there to complete organization projects. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to a point where I'm once again comfortable in my own home. It's gonna be a lot of work, so let's get organized. This is the big one, the one I'll be putting in a lot of focus on in the beginning. It is single-handedly one of the biggest sources of stress in my life right now, and it is what is holding me back financially. As of recording this video, I owe around $34,845. Until I pay a majority of this off, I will not be able to tackle some of my bigger goals like owning my own home or doing any kind of major traveling around the country. So, how does it all break down? First, I owe around $300 on my Capital One credit card. This one I feel confident in that I will have paid off this year. That's important because this will temporarily be one of two sources for my emergency saving funds until I'm able to build up the funds in my bank account. Until that happens, unfortunately, I'll be using this credit card if any emergencies happen in the near future. The second debt I owe is $1,072 on my Anderson Bank credit card. This one I'm hoping I can pay off this year. If not, I should have it paid off by next year. Once paid off, this will be the second source for my emergency savings fund. Most of this fund will most likely cover any car issues I have in the near future. It is probably one of my biggest fears right now due to my reliance on a vehicle to work. Too many times my life has been thrown into chaos because of a major car repair I couldn't afford, causing me to give up the vehicle and make me question whether I could continue to afford to live. With these two cards paid off, I hope they can provide a crutch for me until I can officially build up an emergency fund that doesn't require credit. It's not a perfect solution, but it's what I have to work with. The next debt I owe is $1,355 to Best Buy for the current computer I'm using to edit this and future videos. Luckily, even if I make the normal payments, this debt will be paid off next January. I'm hoping though that I will be able to pay it off before the end of this year. It depends on what I can get accomplished, unfortunately, so we'll see. The scariest debt I have is the $740 I owe to the IRS. I've never been behind on my taxes, but after issues last year, that changed. Luckily, I think I should be caught up again by the end of the year. Until I pay it off though, this one makes me the most nervous because of the repercussions I could face if I fail to pay it. My next debt is my school loan. Luckily, I only owe $449 and it should be paid off by the end of the year just by making normal payments. One of the bigger debts I owe is on a loan I had taken out some time ago. Unfortunately for that, I still owe $3,371, and it cost me $168 a month in payments. This is one that's going to take me some time to pay until I've knocked off some of the others I owe. So until then, it will be the albatross around my neck. While that may be the debt that keeps me up at night, the last one is the worst of all. It's the necessary prison I find myself in that will probably take me years to pay off. That is what I owe for my car. Unfortunately, I need my car for the work that I currently do, so it is the burden that I have to take on so that I can continue to make a living. The amount I owe for that car is $27,558, and it costs me $684 a month to make payments. The worst thing I fear, though, is that it won't even survive long enough for me to pay it off. After all, I haven't had a good track record with vehicles lately. At some point, I'm going to have to find ways to make money that doesn't require a vehicle so I'm no longer chained down like this. It's time for a little liberation. Now, these are the amounts as of time of recording and could be very different by the next video. Regardless, this is where I'm putting a lot of my focus on. Like I said, this debt is probably the biggest thing holding me back in life. Until it is paid off, I won't be able to fully focus on other projects that I want to accomplish. I have to free myself from this burden so I can finally live up to my full potential. So, wish me luck. Like organizing the home, this is another project I started back in the beginning of Krimson's Korner. Unfortunately, like the other project, I let other things in life distract me, keeping me from making any real progress of clearing out my storage units. As time passed, I made fewer and fewer trips to the storage units until the very idea of completing this task became a distant memory. Now it's time to get back to this task. It's just a matter of finding the time to get out here and sort through everything. That's the true challenge, as these days, time is a precious resource that can't be wasted. Now some of you may ask, how did I get so much stuff in storage? Well, the answer is, it all started when I moved out of my parents' house all those years ago. When I moved into my first place, not everything I owned came with me. There was too much to move, and I wanted to take some time sorting through what I needed and what I could get rid of. Sadly, things usually turn out different from what you plan. In this case, my parents had to find a new home because the owner of their house decided to sell it. As a result, I had to rush to get my remaining stuff out of the house. Having no place at the moment to store the rest of my stuff at my apartment, I had no other choice but to rent a storage unit. The idea was that it would be a very temporary solution until I could sort through everything. Unfortunately, like everything else, things didn't go as planned, and slowly over time, more things were added to storage than taken away, leading to my current predicament. Like I said though, it is finally time to complete this project. I don't know if I'll be able to eliminate storage altogether, especially after I have thought of ways to use a storage unit to advance other goals that I have, but I at least want to reduce myself from 2 storage units to 1. That will definitely help me financially. Currently, I pay $165 a month in storage rentals. If I can knock off the biggest unit, my monthly cost would be reduced to $65, cutting my expenses by over half. Like I said though, it's just a matter of finding the time, and I would do all that I can to scrape as much time as I can to make this happen, but we'll see. Anyways, wish me luck. For a while now, I've been behind on my finances. I used to be a month ahead of my bills, but now I seem to be rushing to make money every day to pay bills that are due the next day, or worse yet, that are late by a week or two. For a matter of fact, I've been a month behind on my car payment and my loan payment for a few months now. Luckily, they've been working with me, so my car hasn't been repoed and the loan company hasn't taken any legal actions. But I feel that my luck is running out. One major disaster and my life as I know it will be over. And we know my luck with cars. Also, I'm sure my health at some point will become an issue. After all, I'm not a Time Lord. Yet. And I'm not getting any younger. So, besides paying off debt, this will be one of my main focuses going forward. After all, like debt, this is one of the biggest sources of stress in my life right now. It also is what consumes a lot of my time. Like I said earlier, time is too precious to be wasting away like this. It takes away from other things I want to do. It also doesn't give me the time to relax. to rest. And I've seen the consequences of this. Tons of stress leading me to feeling irritated, upset, depressed, and downright miserable. I can't keep doing this to myself. So hopefully this is something I can resolve quickly. That way I can start taking time for myself again and start feeling like I have a little bit of security when the next disaster comes. And hopefully this will help me move forward with other projects I want to work on. It's time to stop letting time waste away. This is truly my biggest goal of all. This is something I've wanted to do since I was a small skinny kid in school. It is something I have dreamt about since I wrote my first short stories back in English class. This is what I was always meant to do. I was meant to be a writer. Now, I've written stories in the past, and you may be wondering why I haven't got anything published yet. That's a good question, and I have to admit I am very disappointed in myself for not already being a published author. The truth is though, there are many factors that have contributed to this failure. First, some of the stories I've written didn't feel like the right one to publish. That was either because the story wasn't developed enough in my head to be a good story, or while it may have seemed like a great idea at first, it turned out to be a terrible idea and should never see the light of day, ever again. Another reason I haven't gotten anything published is time. While in the past, I've had plenty of time for writing. In recent years though, the responsibilities of life have caught up with me. I've had to put in so much time into working and catching up on bills that I've had little time to put into my creative side of life. A third reason would be my mental state. Going through so much turmoil over the years has taken its toll on my creative energies. It's hard to focus on my writing when the hardships of life weigh heavily on me. Now, that doesn't mean the desire to write isn't there. It's the will to do so that I'm having trouble with. My last reason, once again, is finances. Even if I finish a book right now, I still don't have the finances to get published. You see, I'm not taking the traditional route to get published. I plan on self-publishing my book, which unfortunately is not cheap. It's an expense that could cost a couple of thousands of dollars, which sadly, I don't have right now. Why am I not going through a traditional publisher? It comes down to who has control over the direction of your story and who profits the most. I want total control over my book and how it's handled. I also want more of the profit from my work. Traditional publishers take too much of a cut to my liking. Of course, the only downside of self-publishing is the cost. Instead of a traditional publisher covering most of the cost of publishing, those costs fall on you. This includes advertising. But I'm willing to take that on if it means having more control over my writing. It means I dictate what I write and what direction it will take me. Like, if and when my writing is ever good enough to maybe hit the big or small screen, it'll be up to me how it works out, not up to a third party on what can and cannot be done. After all, I would love to see my work made into a movie or a series on TV. That would be my dream on steroids. Now, this goal isn't something I can put all my focus into in the near future due to my focus on finances right now. But I will try to find time here and there to work on my novel. Hopefully, in time, I'll be able to focus more and more on this project and finally make it a reality. After all, I finally feel like I have the right story to tell. The Chronicles of Wright. It's a book series about a guy named Wayne Wright who has no memories of his life before he was 13. All he knows is that he has the ability to learn any skill like that, can speak any language, has knowledge he shouldn't of otherworldly creatures, and had a brother who used to take care of him. His mission is to find out who he is. Along the way, he discovers plots by aliens, dimensional beings, and otherworldly life forms that may threaten the very existence of life on Earth. Taking on these threats, he has become the only person capable of protecting the Earth from the dangers of the beyond, becoming the guardian of Earth. He's hoping while facing these threats that he will find the link between him and what he faces in hopes of finding his true identity and where he came from. The first story in the series which I'm writing is about a small town being invaded by alien shape-shifting predators disguising themselves as clowns at an annual local traveling carnival. While investigating the disappearances of locals at this carnival, he discovers a boy who also has gaps in his memory and may have links to his past. Wayne must save this town from the shapeshifters and hopefully discover who this boy is and what is his connection to Wayne. As you can see, I finally have my story. Now I just have to write it. Hopefully I can find the time to write this book and finally get published. Then I can finally accomplish my biggest dream ever. Wish me luck. This is a project I began back in 2015 when my girlfriend passed away from cancer. I wanted to do something to honor her memory and to help raise money for cancer research, as well as for an organization that helps cancer patients who can't afford treatment. That's when I decided to do a bike ride across America that I named Casey's Coming Around Again. The name comes from a song Gail liked, sung by Carly Simon. It would be a trip that started in North Carolina that would take me north to Ohio, where she is laid to rest. From there, I would ride to the West Coast in California. Finally, I would head back east to North Carolina. Obviously, this is a huge task before me. To prepare, I did many shorter rides to train that took me all over North Carolina. It helped boost my endurance and the strength I needed to take on this challenge. The biggest obstacle, of course, is the cost. The trip would take 6 months overall to complete. It would require finances to cover lodging, gear, food, emergencies, and funds to cover my bills while I'm away. This is definitely not a cheap venture, and it would require me not only to save my own money, but to also raise what I can from donations. Over time, I have raised a lot of money for this trip, but I still have a long way to go. Unfortunately, like everything else, I haven't been able to focus my energy on this project due to my finances. I want to change that though. While not in the immediate future, I want to get back on the road and do more rides. I want to get back into raising funds needed to make this ride possible. For now though, I'll try to find the time to do shorter rides locally. I will also work on my other channel, Road to the Ride, which is dedicated to my journey to make this ride happen, to get the channel up to date. I may not be as young as I was back in 2015, but I still believe I can do this ride. It's just going to take a lot of work and time. I'm going to make this happen though, and I hope you will join me for the journey on Road to the Ride. It will be the trip of a lifetime. If you want to help by donating to the cause, there are links in the description below, as well as on the Road to the Ride channel to a GoFundMe page. There, you can donate what you can to help me make this ride possible. Also, you can help by sharing my videos in hopes of spreading the word on what I am trying to accomplish. Hopefully together, we can put a dent in the fight against cancer, to make sure people no longer have to suffer like Gail and many others have. It's time to find a cure. What exactly is keeping it real? Well, that's actually a good question. The reason is, I'm not 100% certain of what the overall goal is for keeping it real. All I know is that I will be discussing a variety of topics and events going on in the world. They will range from things in my life that affect me personally to major topics that affect the world at large. I'll be giving my take on these subjects, hence the name, Keeping It Real. Now, I understand that not everyone will agree with what I have to say, and that's fine. I just ask that we keep things respectful on these videos. It's fine to disagree, and it's even fine to leave a comment with your opinion or side of the story. What's not okay is to come to these videos with the intent of causing trouble. If you're here to insult me or one of my viewers, or come here to play childish games, just don't. All that will happen is that you will be blocked. I don't have the time nor the patience to deal with silly nonsense or any negativity. I'm hoping some of these videos can turn into discussions, a place where both sides of an issue can come together and find the real truth. See what I did there? Which is usually somewhere in between. Maybe we can find some real solutions to the problems plaguing us in the world today. I just want to reiterate though, that what I have to say about each topic is my take, my opinion. Unless I have solid evidence, that's all it'll be, my opinion. So, if you want to change my opinion about something, just give me solid facts, not your feelings or opinions on the matter. Maybe then I may consider your side and possibly even change how I think about the subject. I can't make any promises though. Certain subjects I have a strong opinion about, and it may take moving the earth and moon to change my position on those topics. I can be hard-headed after all. James can attest to that. Like you won't believe. Anyways, I guess you could say keeping it real will be my way of getting things out of my head. You see, besides all of the things that cause me stress that I think about, like finances, debt, work, and whatnot, I also think about other issues out in the world and in my life. They tend to take up real estate in my brain way too long, distracting me from the immediate things I need to take care of. It's one of my flaws. I tend to overthink things because of the way my brain is hardwired. I have a habit of dwelling on things like major issues in the world today and events that have happened to me in the course of a day. With keeping it real, I'm able to get those thoughts out of my head, free my mind up to take on more urgent matters. Maybe, if I'm lucky, we can even find solutions to these major issues. But at the very least, we can start a conversation. And that's all I ask for, is to talk about what is troubling us all and what we can do to make the world a better place. And to make our lives the best life we could possibly live. I think we could all use that these days. Anyways, I hope you'll join me for Keeping It Real. I already have a few topics to work on and many more to come. If you have any suggestions for topics, leave a comment and I'll take them into consideration. Until then, wish me luck. If you've seen some of my recent videos, you've seen that I've produced new skits. Some of them new, some of them revisiting old ideas. It's something I've enjoyed doing. It lets me explore my creative side. It's one of the reasons I started YouTube, to truly explore my creative side and find out what I'm capable of. It's why one of my first videos was Running Man. It gave me a chance to see if I could create something that would entertain as well as get a good laugh. I think I did pretty decently. What do you think? Of course, that is where the idea for James vs. Krimson came from, and I've enjoyed each and every episode because it gave me the chance to use my creative talents to try out acting as well as my writing skills on planning each skit. I'm just hoping you've enjoyed what I've produced so far. With the return to Krimson's Corner, I want to continue making skits for this channel. I've got a few ideas I'm working on right now, but nothing that is ready to be filmed yet. It'll take me time to work out these ideas, especially with my current situation, so please be patient with me. After all, these won't exactly be weekly videos. When the time is right, there'll be another new skit for you to watch and enjoy here on this channel. In the meantime, let me know of what you think of the skits so far. Your input will help me improve and become a better writer, even a better actor. Also, if you have any ideas for some skits I could try out, just leave a comment below or send me an email to this address right here. I'll take each idea into consideration, and if it makes the cut, I'll make sure you get credit for the idea as well as the proper thanks for contributing to Krimson Kreations. Anyways, here's hoping this continues for as long as I'm able to. For now though, it's time to film another skit. What the? What are you doing here? I'm just relaxing. Can I take a break? But you're supposed to be at the park filming a scene for your vlog right now. What? Dun dun dun! Here we go again. So what are Krimson Shorts? No, they are not YouTube Shorts, even though I may start exploring that on future projects on Krimson Kreations. They are something I started towards the end of my first attempt at Krimson's Corner. No surprise, they were shortened down versions of my videos focusing on certain segments. For example, on my Busch Gardens trips, I took a few shorts of a first-person point of view of the rides. Another example was shorts that took you on a tour of my Halloween display. I've published a few of these on this channel, but I still have quite a few waiting on me to finish them. I want to finish those videos so that I can finally show them to the world. I also want to make more of these for the future. I'm not sure yet on what those future shorts will be, but I look forward to getting creative with this. I think it will be a fun experiment to see what I can come up with. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Are you ready to take on the evil minions of Zargon? Are you ready to explore deep dungeons where danger lies just around the next corner? Are you ready to take on huge quests with glorious challenges and huge rewards? Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Then, welcome to the world of Hero Quest. Like I've said earlier, I want to make videos on the game Hero Quest. They will be a playthrough of all the quest packs, as well as any homebrew quests I make along the way. I wanted to do this with a group of people in a weekly type series, which I think would have been a lot of fun. But unfortunately, that's not in the cards right now. So for now, this will be a solo run. I'll be using an app that will take the place of the game master who runs the games named Zargon. While not as fun as having a group of friends along for the ride, it's still something I look forward to. Currently I'm working on the figures, custom cards, and quest books for the adventures. As soon as these projects are complete, let the adventure begin. Now, I know these videos won't be for everyone, but that's okay. I'm just hoping that some of you will join me on my journey to vanquish the evil minions of Zargon. Maybe, at some point, I will even get fellow adventurers to join me on these quests. Regardless, I hope that you'll enjoy these videos as much as I'm going to enjoy making them. I can't wait to unveil each episode and watch as this develops into the adventure of a lifetime. With each reveal of custom figures, new cards, and exciting quests, I know it's going to be a lot of fun. So join me and let the adventure begin. Like I've said earlier, I want to start a gaming series. After all, it combines two things that I love: creating videos and playing games. I wanted to do this earlier, but it was harder to record gameplay footage, which required a bigger investment that I wasn't willing to take on at the time. Now with video game systems making it easier to record gameplay footage and transfer it to YouTube, I'm ready to make the jump. The question is though, which format should I do it in? First, there's live gameplay. This would be the most interactive method, letting me connect with my audience in a way that I've never done before. The thought of trying this out excites me. The only issue I have is to figure out how to incorporate a webcam shot of me into the videos. I haven't tried this before, so I know I have a lot to learn on how to put this all together into a live stream. I will do my research though, but if anyone can help me learn how that works, just let me know. Any help would be appreciated. The other method would be just to shoot all the footage and put it together in a non-live format. Now, the positive is I know how to do it this way. It's just like putting together another episode of Krimson's Korner. The downside is that I would lose some of that interaction I would get from a live feed. It's some of what I look forward to doing these episodes. It also means more production work, which could make each video take longer to come out. But then again, that means more work for James, which might not be a bad thing. Not to mention the multiple opportunities to just aggravate the hell out of him. Don't you even think about it. Oh, anyways, I know one of the first games I'll be playing is Spider-Man for the PS4. I love this game. It has a great story and really makes you feel like you're living the life of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Of course, I will also play the other two games in the series, Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. Another question I have to ask you is, do you think I should put my Hero Quest videos and the gaming series on a separate channel? You don't need any more YouTube channels. Stay out of this, James. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. I know that putting too much diverse topics on one channel can hurt its growth. So I thought about making a channel dedicated to gaming. It would be dedicated to Hero Quest, video games, and maybe even some game reviews here and there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, I hope you'll join me on however this works out. It should be a load of fun, and I look forward to it. So, let the games begin. This is a subject I've always had an interest in. Ever since I was a little Krimson, I've had an interest in ghosts, UFOs, and the unexplained. I think this is what started me in writing sci-fi, fantasy, and mystery. It would also explain my love for Halloween. It's more than that, though. I've always had a fascination with the subject, especially after watching those ghost hunter shows on TV and YouTube. I've always wanted to take part in one of those investigations. I think it would be exciting and maybe a little terrifying at the same time. Now, I know some may not believe in any of this stuff, and that's fine. Obviously, this content isn't for you. As for me, while I'm not a 100% firm believer, I do believe there is something behind the stories and sightings, and I would love to find the truth. That is ultimately what I want to do with this series. I want to go out and do paranormal investigations. In the beginning, though, I won't have the funds to make that happen. Plus, I have a little research to do before I'm ready to go out in the field. In the beginning, I think I'll start with famous paranormal stories from around the world. It'll give me a chance to dip my toes into the paranormal. It'll definitely be a lot more affordable in the beginning. Maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll even get a chance to visit some of these famous sites during my investigations. I'm really looking forward to this series. I think this will be a very interesting journey, especially if I'm able to go out in the field and do some real ghost hunting. I'll get to see some cool places, hopefully experience something out of this world, and maybe answer some of my own questions about those lingering mysteries that haunt our dreams. Anyways, let me know what you think. Would you be interested in a series like this? Would you like to explore the paranormal with me? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, sweet dreams. To make Krimson's Korner even better, I want to invest into some new gear. It'll range from cameras to microphones, even a possible set for series like Keeping It Real. I want to grow this channel into something big, a place where I can explore all of my creative talents. With this gear, I'll be able to try out all kinds of different things. First on my list is a green screen. Just lately, I've been experimenting using green screens. It's really allowed me to up my game with stuff like skits, and of course, our lovely Weeping Angel. Up to now though, I've been using cheap poster board as my green screen. While it has served me well for the special effects I've done so far, I'm ready to go to the next level. I want to get a bigger screen to allow me to do bigger and better special effects. Then, there's no telling where I can take Krimson and James. The sky's the limit, and I'm ready to test those limits. Next up is a dash cam. Up to now, I've been using a GoPro to shoot all of my driving footage. While it has served me well, I need a camera dedicated to driving footage, especially if I plan to try out some Uber and Lyft rideshare shifts. I could even include some of that footage into an episode of Krimson's Korner. Should make for some interesting content. Third is a body cam. Once again, up to this point, I've been using the GoPro to get my point of view shots for everything from working the gig apps to first person point of view of rides to hiking trips. I want a camera though that is dedicated to gig work. It would take the strain off the GoPro, which will be used a lot on Road to the Ride. It will also be a little more hidden so I can take it with me everywhere on deliveries. Finally, it would also provide me some security on deliveries with some concrete footage if anything happens to go wrong. Next is a wireless mic. I want this to help unchain me from the camera. For now, I have to carry the camera with me everywhere I go, at least if I want you to hear me or unless I do some voiceover work. I want to be able to film scenes with me away from the camera for some different perspectives, and I can still talk to the camera. It'll let me experiment with my creative side on different shooting angles. Plus, it'll just get me better audio. 5th will be an official set for Krimson Kreations. It's where I can film segments for Keeping It Real, reviews, and other such segments. For now, this is where I film such segments, but I want something a little more professional. Call it an upgrade. Besides, this area has gotten too messy. It needs a little organization. Next will be a drone. This will be a cool thing to try out. Not only is it a fun hobby, but I can also get some exciting new shots for B-roll, like some shots of the surrounding area from high up. I can also get some new angles of my day from above, giving a whole new perspective. I will have to get up to date on the laws of using drones though before I fly it. Don't need the NSA breathing down my neck. Shut up, James. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. The final thing on my list for now is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera. This camera will literally unchain me from holding the camera for any shot. It has the ability to track you and follow you around the scene. Combined with the wireless mic, this will give me a freedom I've never had for my shots. I'm really looking forward to trying out this camera and see what I'm able to do with it to up my game on the vlogs. That's the list for now. I'm sure other things will be added as they come to me, but for now, this will do. I really want to up my game for Krimson Kreations and make this the best YouTube channel it could possibly be. I want to explore the furthest boundaries of my creativity possible, and with this gear, I'll be able to do that. And have a lot of fun on the way. Last but not least, my goal, as it always has been, is to improve physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and creatively. I want to be the best Krimson I can be. This is a goal that everyone should strive for, to be a better version of ourselves. It's what is necessary to grow and to improve who we are. We should always move forward and never let ourselves get stuck or stagnate in the past, no matter how comfortable that familiarity feels. We have to learn to deal with the uncomfortable feelings of change and growth to become our best selves. While this may be difficult and sometimes seem impossible, it's a necessary step in our development. Myself, I know I have a long way to go on my path through life, but just like in the past, I strive each day to make an improvement, even if it's the smallest of steps. Sometimes that's what it takes, taking one step at a time. Don't try to take huge leaps because more often than not, you'll just fall flat on your face, which in turn will discourage you. I know because I've had my fair share of pitfalls where I tried to bite off more than I could chew and paid the consequences. Through this, I've learned while it's good to keep moving forward, take it in steps, not leaps. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's just one of many lessons I'll need to learn on the journey through life. That's part of life though. Learning is what helps us grow, and if we're lucky, we'll continue to learn and grow until the end of our days. It's what will make us the best possible versions of ourselves we can be. That's what I'm striving for. So I hope you'll join me on this journey and wish me all the luck and fortune I can get. After all, the more support I get, the easier it is to keep fighting and keep moving forward. We could all use support like that, don't you think? And there you have it, the goals that I've set for Krimson's Korner so far. It's a lot to start off with, and more may be added on the way. But don't worry, your old pal Krimson can handle the load. It's just a matter of... Wait a minute. James! James? James! What? Where's the achievement? I thought we agreed there would be one here for making a list of goals for this year on Krimson's Korner. Come on, man. Hit me up. Seriously? Is this the way we're using the achievements? Do you want an achievement for every little thing? Do you want one for every time you take a poop? I swear, what an absolute abuse of something that should only be used for important achievements. Fine. Woohoo! Yes! Victory! Anyways, it's time to officially end the first official video in the return of Krimson's Korner. It's been a long road, but we finally made it. The start of a new chapter has begun. Thank you for being patient with me, and I hope you will join me on this journey of a poor man. Anyways, if you happen to like this video or any of my other work, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Become a Crimsonite and join me here on the journey of a lifetime as we navigate through this thing called life. Also, while you're here, don't forget to check up in the cards, as well as the description below, a link to my other channel, Road to the Ride. It is my documentary of my attempt to make a bike ride across America happen. The bike ride is to raise money for cancer research, as well as a company called Cancer Care that helps those who can't afford treatment. So, if you want to go over there, show it some love, do the thing, like, comment, and subscribe. It'll really be helpful. Also, while you're over there, if you want to, you can donate to the ride. There's a link down in the description as well as on the channel to a GoFundMe page. It is only for raising money for this bike ride, to make it happen, to make it a reality, because I know I'm not going to be able to do this alone. It's going to take people like you to help me out, and let's make this happen, because I want to do my part in the fight against cancer. Also, while you're at it, there's another link down below for Buy Me a Coffee. It's where viewers like you can support your favorite creators. You can donate however much you want. I don't know if there's a minimum down there or whatnot. And there is also a subscription kind of thing, but I haven't really set that up. So anyways, if you want to support this channel, all the money that's raised there will go and boost this channel up to make it the best Krimson Kreations possible. That's what I'm here for, to make this channel something big, to finally become monetized again. Anyways, on that note, but if you can't donate, I understand. I know times are tight, the economy's bad, inflation's up, and all these tariffs are going crazy, making prices go up. So if you can't afford it, I understand. Well, trust me, I definitely understand. Finances are my thing. I worry about it every day. But at the very least, I hope for like Road to the Ride and for Krimson Kreations, I hope you will at the very least, share my channel, like and comment, do all that stuff, because that's where it really helps. That's where I need to support the most. So anyways, on that note, we are finally here. We are at the end. So this is Krimson taking his leave and officially about to sign the heck off. Thank God. Good night. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go